Have you ever felt like something is pulling you toward a better life? Like an invisible force guiding you to make better choices, to leave behind sins, or to seek a deeper connection with Allah? This is not a coincidence. This is Allah pushing you toward righteousness. Life is a journey filled with choices. Some lead us closer to Allah, while others pull us away. Sometimes we ignore the signs. We delay change. We think, I'll start praying tomorrow, or I'll fix my life later. But Allah, in His infinite mercy, does not leave us to figure it out alone. He constantly sends us reminders, signs, and gentle pushes to bring us back to Him. Righteousness is not just about avoiding sins. It is about finding peace, purpose, and true success. It is about purifying our hearts, making the right choices, and living in a way that pleases Allah. But the reality is, we are weak. We get distracted. We struggle with desires, bad habits, and the whispers of Shaitan. That's why Allah helps us. He does not force us, but He guides us in ways that we often don't even realize. Allah pushes us toward righteousness in many ways, through hardships, through the people in our lives, through our inner feelings, and through the power of knowledge. Each of these is a door to transformation, a call to something greater. But the question is, are we paying attention? Are we responding to these signs? In this video, we will explore 4 powerful ways Allah guides us toward righteousness. These are the ways that shape our faith, strengthen our hearts, and help us walk the path that leads to true success in this life and the next. So, stay with us till the end. And before we begin, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel Deen Xplorers to support our work in spreading Islamic knowledge. 1. Through hardships and tests. Life is full of ups and downs. No one in this world lives without challenges, pain, or difficulties. Some people face financial struggles, while others deal with health issues, broken relationships, or personal failures. At times, hardships make us feel lost and hopeless, but in reality, they are not meant to break us. They are meant to push us closer to Allah. Every test in life has a purpose. Every hardship has wisdom behind it. And the greatest wisdom is that difficulties force us to turn back to Allah. When life is easy, we often forget to pray with sincerity. We take things for granted and become too attached to this temporary world. But the moment we face hardship, we remember that we are weak and powerless without Allah. We fall to our knees in prayer, we cry out to Him, and we seek His help with a heart full of sincerity. This is not a coincidence. It is Allah's way of bringing us closer to Him. He knows that if life was always comfortable, many of us would never seek His guidance. But through pain and struggles, our hearts soften, and we understand that there is no true refuge except with Allah. Many times, we question why Allah allows us to go through pain. We ask, why me? Why is life so unfair? But Allah reminds us in the Quran that hardships are a test and patience brings great rewards. Allah says, surely we will test you with a bit of fear and hunger, and loss in wealth and lives and fruits, and give good tidings to the patient. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, and every moment of pain is seen by Allah. He is watching, and He will never leave you empty-handed. The struggles you face today will not last forever. They are just a bridge that will lead you to something better. Hardships are temporary, but Allah's mercy is eternal. When you are going through a tough time, remember that it is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to elevate you. It is pushing you toward righteousness. It is a sign that Allah loves you and wants you to come closer to Him. If life was always easy, we would never grow. But through hardships, we develop strength, patience, and deep faith. Your struggles today are shaping you into a stronger believer. So, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is Allah trying to teach me? Maybe He wants you to pray more. Maybe He wants you to stop relying on people and start relying on Him. Maybe He is removing something from your life because He has something much better for you. Trust in His plan. Allah never allows pain without purpose. No matter how hard life gets, hold on to your faith. Keep praying, keep trusting, and remember, after hardship comes ease. Allah sees your struggles, and He will never abandon you. Stay patient, for the best is yet to come. 2. Through good people and friends. One of the most beautiful ways Allah guides us toward righteousness is by placing good people in our lives. Sometimes we don't even realize it, but the friends we have, the teachers we meet, or even a stranger's advice can change the course of our lives forever. A single conversation, a sincere reminder, or just being around a righteous person can awaken our hearts and push us toward Allah. There are moments when we feel lost, when we are unsure of what is right and wrong, when we struggle with faith, or when we start to slip away from our religious duties. It is during these times that Allah sends us the right people. Maybe a friend reminds us of a beautiful verse from the Quran, or maybe a family member gives us heartfelt advice. Sometimes, even watching someone else's sincerity in their worship makes us reflect on our own lives. These are not coincidences. They are signs that Allah is guiding us back to Him through the people around us. Good friends are like a light that brightens our path. They remind us to pray when we forget. They encourage us to be better, and they help us stay away from harmful things. On the other hand, bad friends can lead us to destruction. They influence us with their words, their actions, and their lifestyle. If we surround ourselves with people who don't care about prayer, about honesty, or about righteousness, then slowly, without even realizing it, we will drift away from Allah. That is why choosing the right friends is one of the most important decisions we make in life. If we want to get closer to Allah, we need to surround ourselves with those who remind us of Him. We need friends who encourage us to pray, who speak kindly, who guide us with wisdom, and who bring peace into our lives. On the Day of Judgment, the friends we had in this world will either be a source of regret or a source of joy. Those who led us away from Allah will blame each other, but those who encouraged each other in righteousness will rejoice together. This is why it is so important to choose companions who remind us of Allah, who push us toward goodness, and who support us in our journey of faith. Think about the people in your life. Do they bring you closer to Allah or further away? Do they remind you to pray, to speak kindly, to be grateful, and to seek knowledge? Or do they distract you from your purpose and make you forget what truly matters? If you have righteous friends, thank Allah for them. They are a gift, and they are part of Allah's plan to guide you toward a better life. If you feel like you don't have such friends yet, make dua. Ask Allah to bless you with companions who will strengthen your faith and remove those who harm your heart and soul. And most importantly, strive to become that good friend for others. Be the one who encourages kindness, who reminds people of Allah, and who spreads positivity. When you become a source of guidance for others, Allah will place righteous people in your life as well. Your friends today will either help you reach Jannah or take you further away from it. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with those who make you better, who remind you of Allah, and who help you stay on the path of righteousness. Because in the end, the right people are one of the greatest ways Allah pushes us toward goodness. 3. Through inner feelings and conscience. There is a voice inside every person that whispers the difference between right and wrong. This is not just a random thought. It is one of the most powerful ways that Allah guides us toward righteousness. Your conscience, your inner feelings, and that deep sense of guilt when you do something wrong are all signs that Allah is calling you back to Him. Think about the moments when you are about to commit a sin. Maybe you are about to speak badly about someone, or you are tempted to do something haram. Right before you act, there is a voice inside you that hesitates, that makes you feel uneasy. It's as if your heart is warning you, don't do this. This is not right. That feeling is not an accident. It is Allah's way of reminding you of righteousness. Every person has a natural sense of morality. Even people who are not religious feel guilt when they lie, steal, or hurt others. But for believers, this feeling is even stronger because it is a direct connection to Allah. He has placed this awareness inside us so that we can recognize when we are making a mistake. If we listen to this feeling, it brings us closer to Allah. But if we ignore it repeatedly, over time, our hearts become hardened, and that inner warning starts to fade away. You were not created without guidance. Your heart already knows the truth. That is why, when you do something good, your heart feels at peace. But when you do something wrong, you feel anxious, guilty, or uncomfortable. These emotions are signs from Allah, pushing you back to the right path. However, the more we ignore this inner guidance, the weaker it becomes. If a person keeps committing sins without seeking forgiveness, they may reach a point where they no longer feel guilt at all. Their heart becomes blind to what is right and wrong. This is the most dangerous state, when sin no longer bothers us. This shows us that the more we ignore our conscience, the harder it becomes to feel guilt. But the good news is that no matter how many sins we have committed, Allah's mercy is always open. The moment we turn back to Him, seeking forgiveness, He clears our hearts and makes them pure again. So whenever you feel guilty about something, don't ignore it. That is Allah's way of guiding you. It is His love and mercy calling you back. Instead of pushing that feeling away, act on it. Seek forgiveness, make dua, and promise yourself to do better. And whenever you feel at peace after doing something good, know that it is also a sign from Allah. He is showing you that you are on the right path. Keep following that peace, because it will always lead you closer to Him. Your inner voice is one of the greatest gifts Allah has given you. Listen to it, follow it, and let it push you toward righteousness. 4. Through the Quran and knowledge. One of the greatest ways Allah pushes us toward righteousness is through the Quran and knowledge. The Quran is not just a book. It is a divine guidance, a light in the darkness, a cure for the heart, and a direct message from Allah to every human being. Every time you open the Quran, every time you seek knowledge, you are taking a step closer to Allah. There are moments in life when we feel lost, when we don't know what to do, when we struggle with pain, or when we question our purpose. In those moments, the Quran has the answers. It speaks to every emotion, every challenge, and every situation we face. When you read it with an open heart, you will find that Allah is speaking directly to you. Have you ever randomly opened the Quran and found a verse that perfectly fits what you are going through? Have you ever listened to a lecture or read a book, and suddenly it felt like Allah was answering your questions? This is not a coincidence. This is how Allah pushes you toward righteousness. He places the right knowledge in front of you at the right time, because He knows exactly what your heart needs. Allah says in the Quran, "Surely this Quran guides to something that is most straightforward, and gives glad tidings to the believers who do good deeds, that ready for them there is a great reward." The Quran is not just a book of rules. It is a source of wisdom, strength, and comfort. It teaches us how to handle pain, how to deal with people, how to grow spiritually, and how to live a life that pleases Allah. Every verse is like a light that brightens our path. The more we read, the more our hearts become connected to Allah. But knowledge is not just about reading. It is about understanding, reflecting, and applying it to our lives. Many people read the Quran without truly thinking about its meaning. The real power of knowledge comes when we internalize it, when we reflect on how it applies to our struggles, and when we take action based on what we have learned. Seeking knowledge is one of the most powerful ways to protect yourself from Shaitan. The more you know about Allah, the stronger your faith becomes. The more you learn about your purpose, the harder it is for doubts and distractions to pull you away. That is why Shaitan tries his best to keep people away from the Quran and from beneficial knowledge. He whispers excuses. "I don't have time, I'll read later, I don't understand Arabic," anything to stop us from accessing the greatest source of guidance. But those who make the effort to seek knowledge are the ones whom Allah blesses with clarity and wisdom. So never take this blessing for granted. Make time for the Quran every day, even if it's just a few verses. Seek knowledge constantly, whether through books, lectures, or discussions with scholars. Keep your heart and mind open to learning, because every piece of knowledge brings you closer to Allah. The Quran is Allah's direct message to you. Open it, read it, reflect on it, let it guide you. Because when you seek knowledge, you are walking on the path of righteousness, and Allah will continue to push you forward. We hope this video has helped you understand how Allah lovingly guides us toward righteousness through His countless signs and mercies. From the people He places in our lives to the whispers in our hearts, Allah's push toward goodness is a continuous, gentle nudge to bring us closer to Him and to help us become the best versions of ourselves. As we continue our journey in life, let us remain mindful of these signs, embrace the guidance Allah offers, and keep striving to grow in our faith. Remember, righteousness is not a destination. It's a path that requires patience, effort, and trust in Allah's plan. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers for more content on how to live a life that pleases Allah. We appreciate your support and look forward to exploring more aspects of Islam together. Until next time, stay strong in your faith, stay connected with Allah.